but they did not remove him. What that did for them, I don't know.
There's a key moment in the new episode about Joe Lieberman where we're going to find out there's sort of some tension around which way Joe Lieberman will go. Will he call for Clinton to step down? Will he call for impeachment? And he ultimately doesn't. He really calls him out pretty harshly, but he doesn't go any further than that. And that sort of provides a path for other Democrats as well. And you make the point that if Lieberman had come out more strongly against Clinton, Clinton may have been forced to step down. That was really informative. I actually don't remember that moment. But what I do remember is in 2000, Gore chooses Lieberman as his vice president, which is about as far as he can go to distance himself from Clinton.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you about something, which is that I'm a little bit unclear about what it is that happened in between, all these amazing polls coming out for Clinton during the impeachment drive and during that whole year of 1998 and the campaign, at which point, as you just said, like Gore made a conscious decision to distance himself from Clinton and to embrace Lieberman again, who had emerged as Clinton's top Democratic critic. It suggests to me that they thought Clinton would hurt his campaign. But why that would be, given that he was so popular, I'm not totally sure. And I've got a couple more episodes to go before I have to figure that out.
I've always thought Democrats would be in a much better position today. This is a very Game of Thrones way of thinking, but if Clinton, just in the sense that, what goes up must come down. When someone is at the bottom, they'll rise to the top. That's just sort of the whole underlying theme of Game of Thrones, it feels to me. But if Clinton had stepped aside in 1998, handed things off to Gore, and Gore had the power of incumbency, as close as the 2000 election was, I don't see how Gore could have lost in 2000. And I think he would have gone strongly for the environment. I doubt we would have invaded Iraq. And we'd have a totally different world.
I think that's correct. I think there were people at the time who wondered, why is it such a horrible, unthinkable scenario that we would have Gore as president for 2 years, given that it would put him in a good position to win re-election in 2000. And I think everything you just said is right. I think one thing we've tried to do on Slow Burn is try to isolate these moments when history went one way when it could have gone the other way, and how a lot of the let's say plot that drives history is circumstantial and in some ways arbitrary. But yeah, like with the Gore thing, it's kind of hard to overstate just how different history would have gone if in fact Clinton had resigned and Gore had taken his place, because I do think he would have won that election. I think he probably wouldn't have gone into Iraq, and given his environmentalist beliefs, maybe we would be further along on climate change than we are. I think almost certainly.
Maybe that's a good movie. We can have this speculative fiction about what if Gore had won.
So a liberal fantasy, yeah.
There have only been 2 impeachments. I'm sorry, there have been 3 impeachments. The third being Andrew Johnson. I don't suspect you're going to do a season on Andrew Johnson.
Yeah, I think the archival audio on that is a little thin, unfortunately, and not enough people still kicking from that era for us to interview.
So, do you need there to be another impeachment for there to be another season of Slow Burn?
No, I don't think so. When we were trying to choose our topic for season 2, one of the considerations was, how do we define the show in a way that's not too narrow, right? I mean, are we really just doing a show about impeachments? That seems as narrow as you can get, right? As you said, it leaves you very few options for what to do next. So I think we are thinking of the show as a show about historical events that were completely all-consuming when they unfolded, but that have faded a little bit in people's memories and in people's and just faded in terms of how much people know about them, the details of them. And so I think for our next trick, I think we're going to look for a story far enough back that the details have kind of become fuzzy, but that happened recently enough that there is sort of a cultural valence to the story that we can push against or engage with, if that makes sense. Like we want like our ideal listener is someone who knows something about the story, who has certain moments in their brain that they've filed away through osmosis or otherwise. They vaguely know who Linda Tripp is. They vaguely know that they vaguely know that Clinton had an affair with Lewinsky, but they don't know how many months it lasted or what it actually involved. We want to meet those people halfway and really kind of make guesses about what is conventional wisdom, and then go there and enrich that person's understanding of what happened.
Well, I love the show. I could talk to you for 17 hours. I will listen to as many of these as you make. Is there anything you want people to know, or any final thoughts?
I don't know. I think I'm excited for the last 2 episodes of the season. Episodes 7 and 8. They're gonna be I think just as fun for people who have enjoyed the first 6 of the season. And I guess I should mention the tour. We're going on tour in October. We're going to do five dates in Washington, New York, Portland, San Francisco, and Chicago. And people can get tickets at slate.com/live. Sorry to be a pitchman here, but I think it is going to be a great show. We're writing sort of a special story that we will perform live at the top of the show, and then we're going to have interviews with cultural critics like Wesley Morris to talk about the Lewinsky-Clinton scandal, as well as in sort of an onstage interview about the show itself and how we made it.
Fantastic. I know a lot of people listening to this will be there. So thank you.
Thanks so much for taking the time. This is great.